Hi tubers, welcome back for another adventure. What you're looking at is a Honda 200X, and one complete like this actually has quite a bit of value. Well, I was outside and I was looking at the 200S Sam from last week, and I'm thinking it's in the way. I either got to part this out or I got to put it together. And given that it has a running engine and it's actually capable of starting, running, and moving, the only problem it has is basically the front wheel. I said to myself, well, why don't I try to do something with that? Unfortunately, the front wheel from a 200X will not fit on a Honda 200S. You're not getting it on there. I mean, if you go through enough trouble, you'll get it on there. But the front of this thing was pretty torn up, and I'm having trouble getting that axle bolt out and everything else. So I said, you know what? Let me just take this off and put it aside and see if we can't put a 200X front end on there. So there was my challenge. So I got a 200X, and here's the remnants, and I pulled the front forks out of there, and I'm sure you guys could sort out, if you want to go through this project, how to do that. I mean, not all that difficult. For the 200X, you loosen up those two bolts, these two bolts, take this nut off. That allows you to take the handlebars. Then there's you got to bend that tab down, and then you can take this nut off. And once you take the top of it off, there's a retainer that keeps the bearings at the right tension, or at the right torque. You take that out, and you very carefully take all the ball bearings out the top. And when you slide it up, some of the ball bearings are going to fall out the bottom. So I recommend doing it, if at all possible, quite honestly, on a sheet or a clean garage floor or something like that, to keep from losing the bearings. There are things you could do. You can kind of put grease around the bottom of it really heavy, so as the bearings fall down, they'll get trapped in the grease or something. But you're probably going to be on your hands and knees looking for ball bearings, so just keep that in mind. So that's how you take this one apart. On the 200S, same thing. Take that bolt out, and then you just have to take, there's a nut on this side, a nut on that side. The top comes out. Once again, you unload it, the thing slides out, and you lose the ball bearings. So, not hard to take apart. And I thought to myself, boy, all I have to do is take it apart, and I'll slide the 200X front end right in here, and all is good. And then the surprises begin. The first surprise was, though the retaining nut on the top was the same size, the shaft on the 200X is quite a bit thinner, as you could see. So that was surprise number one. And by the way, to take this out of here, all you do is undo this nut, put plenty of PB Blaster WD-40 and anything else you can think of to tear it apart, and then you just tap this down. Use a wood block so you don't damage the threads. You know, put it up against a vise, and you just tap this thing out the bottom. So, not hard to do. So now I get it to this point, and to make the 200X front end work, I have to use the 200S pin. But as you can see, that's not topping off, that's welded on, where this one came apart. So now life gets interesting. I've done a quick walk around to see what I have for other front ends and all, because right up front, at this point, I haven't destroyed this, and I haven't destroyed that one, though this isn't coming back to life again, so it doesn't much matter if I destroy it or not. But basically, I have not destroyed anything here. What I'm going to have to do, though, is I'm going to have to take this out. Right? I'm going to have to cut it out of here. Then I'm going to have to put it in the lathe and spin it, and hopefully get the bottom area. There's enough material on the bottom area, there's enough length. I'm gonna make that the right length so I could get some of it into here and tightened up. To me, yeah, I should be able to do that. I just need to move this up a little bit. Then on the bottom here, just build this up so that it'll clamp tight on here, and then I'll have that. This looks like it should steer no problem. I just might have to grind this off so it doesn't have any trouble with this. Right? I'm gonna have to see how that goes together. But I should be able to put that front end on. But unfortunately, it is going to require some lathe work. So those of you with access to these bikes, 200Xs, 200Ss, let me Frankenstein something together, mix and match and all that kind of stuff. It's not as simple as, you know, bolt something off and bolt something else back on. So I'm going to make this a part 1, and I think I'm actually gonna attempt to bring this to life. This front end has the disc, the caliper, the front fender, the whole shoot and match. So not only should it go on, it should look halfway decent. The rake provided, I mean, you get raked by two different things, right? What's the angle of this pipe to the rest of the frame? And yeah, let me just take a quick look at that and a quick look at this. Off the top of my head, this one just looks like it's got a little bit more rake than this frame. And I know, because I was looking at it before, when the triple tree was on here, this also added a little more rake. So I think as you're looking at that thing, the bars are going to be out a little further, which should actually make it look pretty cool. So that's today's project. That's what I'm playing with. I got a million other things I should be doing, but for some reason when I woke up this morning, this is what interested me. You know, you kind of never know, or I never know what I'm going to be doing from one day to the next. And for some of the people who watch my videos, it may drive you crazy, right? I could wake up one morning and suddenly be out salvaging scrap because I saw something on my way home from dinner, right? Or I could wake up the next morning and be back on a China quad trying to figure out what the wiring is. Or one day you guys will tune in and say, oh, he finally did something with that you know, Sears Super Tractor 10 ST, or actually this is an ST14 or 16, I'm not sure. I wonder what it would look like with a diesel in it. Alright folks, I want to thank everybody for watching and commenting and subscribing. Please remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and please get out each and every day and enjoy all your time. You don't know how much you're going to get, so make sure you have fun with it. Bye now.